I'm sorry. I can't summarily dismiss the Golden State Warriors. It is entirely possible that the Golden State Warriors, despite this roller coaster they've been on, that they could end up going back to the NBA Finals. It cannot be dismissed.
We're built to win in the postseason, and we've done it, and that's the reputation that we love to have. But it's not easy getting through an 82-game schedule, and year after year, no matter what seed you are, just getting there, because especially as the defending champs, like, we've gotten everybody's best punch every night. So I had some really disappointing losses, had some big wins, obviously our road troubles and all that, but now it's time to just lay it out on the line in another playoff series that we thrive on. So that's who we are.
The 94-95 Houston Rockets was the only sixth-seeded team in NBA history to win an NBA championship. But with the way the tide is slowly shifting in their favor, it looks like the Golden State Warriors are poised to replicate that historical feat. The Dubs just punched a ticket to the playoffs by blowing out the Blazers in their last game, and they're currently gaining steam after winning 8 of their last 10 games to close out the regular season strong. With Gary Payton II and Andrew Wiggins back in the lineup, and guys like Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, and Stephen Curry playing really well offensively as of late, there's no doubt that the Warriors are the most dangerous team heading into the playoffs. I mean, look at Klay's confidence when he dropped this message.
I don't see a team who can beat us in a 7-game series when we're healthy.
You can say that Klay was just inviting all the smoke he could handle with that statement. But to me, Klay was just spitting straight facts, because the Warriors are definitely a different team when they're all healthy. Anyways, the battle lines have already been drawn, with the Warriors going up against the third-seeded Sacramento Kings in the first round. And with that said, let's break down how the Dubs are going to win this matchup. The Kings' run this season is nothing but remarkable, as they finally clinched a playoff spot after waiting for 16 long years. However, it looks like their Cinderella run is about to be cut short thanks to the Dubs, cause here's why. In their 4 head-to-head matchups, the Dubs practically owned them by winning 3 out of 4 outings this season, despite the fact that the Kings are topping the league in terms of offensive rating. In those 4 games, 6 Warriors averaged double figures in scoring, with Steph leading the pack averaging 33 points a ball game, and guys like Wiggins, Klay, and JP3 also had their fair share of scoring contributions. See, the point that I'm making here is that even though the Kings are playing at a historic pace on the offensive end this season, they don't have enough firepower to outgun the Warriors throughout a 7-game series. But on top of this, the reason why the Kings will lose the first round is that they don't have the experience as well as the chemistry that the Dubs have. Now, in addition, I also picked the Warriors to win 5 or 6 games because matchup-wise, I think they have the right personnel to counter the Kings' high-octane offense. I mean, the Dubs have tons of bodies that they can throw around Aaron Fox like Klay, Wiggins, and DiVincenzo to make it tough for him offensively. And should these 3 guys fail, the Warriors still have GP2 who can lock down and hound De'Aaron Fox all day long across 94 feet. Now, on the block, the Warriors have Draymond and Looney to stop Sabonis from doing his thing. And for me, these are just some of the factors why the Dubs are going to pull away with the win in this particular matchup. Anyways, on top of what I just talked about, here's another reason why the Dubs are going to breeze through the first round according to Colin Cowherd.
I also think this. They'll get the whistle. They know how to manipulate officials. They know how to do the psychological manipulation. I mean, Sacramento is like the little brother down the road to the dynasty, and you can see in spots them being a little overwhelmed, and the Warriors, trash talking getting in their head and getting the favorable whistle. The dynasty does in the first round my entire life. I don't think the league is rigged, but I do think veteran teams manipulate officiating in the playoffs, where referees tend to swallow the whistle. You're not going to get that high-octane offense that draws all those fouls. The Warriors can slow it down, speed it up. They'll get the whistle. So I think it's one of these series. It's a really good series for Golden State. Yeah, I think I would take the Warriors in 6.
Once they get past Sacramento, the next stop for them will probably be against their rival, which is the Grizzlies. Although they split their season matchup with them this year, the Dubs practically got their number with the way they have destroyed them time and time again, which dates back to last season. I mean, even though the Grizzlies had dominated them in the regular season last year, the Dubs had the last laugh by eliminating the trash-talking Grizzlies in 6 games in the semis, and with little to no change in their lineup, there's a big chance that we can see the same thing happening again in this year's playoffs. As you can see, the Dubs have all the tools and firepower to match up with the young and athletic Grizzlies. When you have Steph averaging 26.3 points during their season matchup, and you also have JP3 chipping in some 24 a ball game, as well as Klay and Kuminga, who's also averaging double digits against the Grizzlies this season, you gotta be a little scared at what this team can do. Again, just like the series against the Kings, the Warriors' experience will be the key factor in this matchup. And as long as the Warriors stay composed and don't let the NBA villain Dylan Brooks and his crew get into their heads, I believe the Dubs will put this one through just like last year. Anyways, after presenting some data, let's now take a look at the X's and O's and break down some clips as to why the Golden State Warriors are going to be the most dangerous team in this year's playoffs. As I mentioned earlier, one of the strengths of the Dubs is their incredible chemistry. And what I mean by that is how they know each other's movements and they know where each other are inside the court at all times. Look here. Here's Steph running through the pick set by Looney. After the help shows up, Steph passes it to Draymond, who then whips it to Looney, and without a second thought, Looney swings it to Wiggins in the wing as if he already knows he's gonna be there beforehand. And just check out Steve Kerr's reaction after Wiggins made the basket as he applauds that unselfish play. See, that pinball-like ball movement is what separates the Dubs from other teams, and their ability to read and react to certain plays is just simply on another level. I mean, here it is once again, but this time in transition. You can see that Kuminga was waiting for the trailer, which happened to be Draymond, and upon receiving the ball, Draymond just shovels it to the cutting Klay Thompson to finish it with a reverse deuce. As you can see in those clips, the Dubs' offense is operating like clockwork, regardless of the personnel running it, and this is why they're lethal as a unit, since everybody has a green light to shoot, which makes their offense unpredictable and hard to stop. Now, the other thing that makes them a dangerous team is their depth. Apart from their regular starters, Steve Kerr can shuffle up to 10-man deep with the pool of talent that they have, and they even have the privilege to pull in young, promising guys like Kuminga, Moody, and Anthony Lamb from the bench to fill in significant minutes while their main guns are resting. Anyways, we are pretty much aware that defense has been their biggest weakness this season. However, I believe that this won't be an issue anymore come playoffs because the missing pieces are now back in place, especially with the return of their premier defensive stoppers like GP2 and Andrew Wiggins. And to add to this point, the Dubs probably have the most versatile roster time and deadliest small ball lineup in the entire playoffs, which could give a major scare to teams that will be crossing their paths. I mean, in theory, the Dubs can field a lineup of pure two-way players if they want to focus on defense, with GP2 running the point, DiVincenzo on the 2 spot, Kuminga playing the small forward position, Wiggins at 4, and Draymond playing at center. And at the same time, they insert a full offensive mode type of lineup, featuring Steph and JP3 in the backcourt, Klay at the 3 spot, while Wiggins and Looney man the front court. See, this is just one way of demonstrating how the Dubs can match up against any type of lineup being thrown at them. And with the tools and skill set that each of their players has, there's no doubt they can beat any team on any given night, regardless of their opponent's seeding of star power. With the regular season now in the books, the Dubs are looking to turn their mediocre season into an unforgettable one by going all the way to the finals and possibly winning it all for the second straight season as the 6th seed. The haters and naysayers were quick on the trigger in counting them out since their mid-season collapse, but if there's one thing that history tells us, it's that adversity only serves as their fuel to make them stronger. And now that they're healthy and back in full force, there's got to be no reason to count them out just yet. Most especially now that the odds are stacked heavily against them.